Rightio, let's play something that's gonna make you nostalgic for the good old days. The good old days being probably like 2012 when you played this for the first time on an emulator. A lot of people my age probably discovered retro games that way, through emulators in the 2010s. So with that being said, let's make some 2010s emulator nostalgia. First up, we've got ARMS. You know, like the Nintendo game, haha, it's based on him, haha. Boo, you suck. Each stage is themed after a different character from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. For some reason, they didn't base this on the Sonic cartoons, but rather they based it on that goofy Sonic television show from back in the day. You know, the cartoon. Snooping as usual, I see. So yeah, this one was a Puyo Pop Fever in Japan, and they gave it a Sonic theme to make it better appeal to the gaijin, and it worked. I'm assuming a lot of people bought this because it always shows up on the compilations. I'm not too big of a compilations guy myself when there's much more affordable ways to get these games, so to speak. Compilations are for people like Milhouse's dad. And oh boy, I can't wait to pay $60 for these 5 NES ROMs. And then Milhouse just kind of shakes his head. We ain't doing too good in this game, are we? For God's sakes, we're gonna lose to the first and easiest enemy in the whole damn thing. It's the same energy as that Bob's Burgers episode where Tina was learning how to drive and Bob was saying, "Tina, you're gonna hit the only other car in the parking lot." So when you drop the rocks on your enemy, the game's actually coded so it'll put the rock in objectively the most frustrating place for them. And of course that can get turned around on you as well. Sometimes you'll have a perfect combo lined up, and then right before you get it, just BAM! There it goes. It's the type of system that really just makes you start breathing through your teeth with anger. Like that weird cousin of mine used to do. Here's some life advice, by the way. If you ever encounter somebody who's breathing through their teeth with anger, you should just get the hell out of there. So yeah, come to think of it, the design of robot they used for this guy, I don't think that type of badnik was actually present in any of the 3 original Sonic games. Or the Sonic Adventure games. I know it was in Sonic Heroes definitely, but I'm wondering if the Sonic Heroes team looked back on Sonic the Show to get new badnik designs or something. Okay, so the next character we've got to fight is not a character that I recognize from the cartoon. Must have missed that episode. I mean, I saw enough episodes of the show to recognize most of the badniks. I recognized the monkey, I recognized Scratch and Grounder, but this guy, he must have been in an episode that got pulled or something. There were a lot of episodes they had to pull because the writers had lots of controversial ideas for Dr. Robotnik. In fact, I've got a comprehensive list of all the secretive Robotnik facts out there. There are the official ones that you can get through the official channels on Did You Know Gaming, but then there's also the secretive ones that Sega doesn't want you to know about. In fact, I've got them right here. Here are the secret Robotnik facts. Okay, in the 1980s, Dr. Robotnik was upset that in an issue of Hustler magazine, there was an interracial couple, and so he took out his frustration on the Hustler magazine CEO, and he gunned down Larry Flint, that being the CEO, as he was coming down the steps of some building, leaving Larry Flint in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. That's Robotnik fact number 1. Robotnik fact number 2. During the filming of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, there was a height difference between Robotnik and all the other characters, and he had to stand farther away from the camera so he would look smaller, so the height differences would work out. You're probably thinking, wait, isn't that just that fact from Lord of the Rings with how they made the hobbits look small, and you just changed it to be Sonic related? And also, what the hell do you mean standing farther away from the camera? It was a cartoon. Well, that's why these facts are secret, you see. They're just that wild and crazy. They don't even make sense at first. Fact number 3. Dr. Robotnik made an angry YouTube video where he reviewed Disney's Turning Red, and he complained about the lack of 9/11 references in the movie. That was like his most controversial video on his cartoon review channel. Fact number 4. For a time, Dr. Robotnik lived in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Robotnik and all of his badniks started a conspiracy where they kidnapped a pizza man and strapped an explosive device to his neck, and then forced the pizza man to rob a bank in order to have the explosive device removed. And the pizza man went through with it, and then they just blew up the explosive device anyway, killing him. And later there was a movie that they made on that exact concept, starring Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik, he's a wild and crazy guy, despite being a fictional character. And Dr. Robotnik, fact number 5 is, Dr. Robotnik knows where you live, and he's coming to get you. Dr. Robotnik, fact number 6. Dr. Robotnik is actually 11 feet tall. That actually ties back to the thing I was saying earlier about the height differences in the show. And, yes, when Dr. Robotnik reached a height of 11 feet tall at the age of 9, he surpassed the previous record holder of world's tallest man, that being Robert P. Wadlow. He stole his record, and people disputed that Robotnik was actually that tall, and the Guinness Book of World Records had to come measure him. And, yeah, there you go. Those are the secret Dr. Robotnik facts. There you go. You know all about Dr. Robotnik now. You're an educated man. You don't even need to go to college. All the real information you ever needed was right here in this Let's Play with 3 views. This is better than going to school. Half the stuff they teach you in school is crap anyway. You know, I remember when I was in preschool and we had the exercise where we had to say words that started with the letter T, and I said tree, and that bitch Mrs. Taylor told me I was wrong. Looking at that as an adult, I see why she said that now. Because the goal of the exercise was for the kids to say the The goal of the exercise was for the kids to say the T sound. And my word, even though it did start with the letter T, that was the tr sound rather than the T sound. And I guess it was easier to just tell me I was wrong. Not that I'm bitter or anything. I'd say that Robot's reaction a second ago accurately sums up this episode. Just completely and utterly puzzled. This is not a good channel. What the hell are any of us doing here? We should be watching Ted Pillman instead. Now that's some good content. Wow, he certainly turned this match around quickly, didn't he? I did manage to launch something of a counter-attack, but as you can clearly see, that's not going to be enough. We are just going to be crushed under the weight. Why did I put a blue there? Fuck's sake. We are just going to be crushed under the weight of all of these beans. Much like a Japanese salaryman being crushed under the weight of impossibly high expectations.